know how many celebrities went to Diddy's house? Thinking they was finna dance?
No.
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach.
To be gay in Hollywood, you never expected. They be having these big mansion parties, and the mansion party, the whole mansion is a party, and then it's a separate party in the little rooms, and you around and look in the wrong room, and nigga, come here. Is that two niggas kissing?
So Katt Williams just chimed in on Terrence Howard's recent comments about Diddy, and he's exposing the real reason why Terrence was allegedly silenced by Hollywood. Terrence recently spilled some major tea on the PBD podcast, talking about how celebs had to give up their man card to make it to the top. But years before Terrence decided to speak out, Katt Williams was out here exposing this same shady Hollywood agenda, and everyone was calling him crazy. But now it looks like these two might team up to drop even more industry secrets, and rumors are going around that there even might be a podcast in the works. So what exactly did Katt say about this whole situation with Terrence Howard and Diddy? And are Katt and Terrence really about to join forces to expose even more about these celebs who lost their man card at Diddy parties? Let's break this down.
How does that feel? You a grown-ass man. You gotta leave Diddy party like that. You can't even sit down in the car. You gotta drive all the way home, standing up.
So I'm sure you've all heard by now that Terrence Howard recently stopped by the PBD podcast and spilled some serious tea about how many celebs gave up their man card at those Diddy parties just to make it to the top.
Well, when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
No, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through.
But it doesn't stop there. Terrence took it a step further and said this was exactly what happened with those celebs who've been seen partying with Diddy over the years.
That was all the people that went to the Puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card, no matter what.
And then Terrence dropped a major bombshell, revealing that Diddy actually made a move on him and tried to smash. Terrence said that Diddy first came at him pretending to need an acting coach and later acted like he was interested in his music. But when Terrence's assistant tipped him off about Diddy's real intentions, Terrence immediately cut off all contact.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to... That's what my assistant said. I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication.
But Terrence also said Diddy wasn't the only one making moves on him. He claimed he had similar run-ins with other producers who tried to come at him with shady proposals. But Terrence wasn't having it and quickly shut that mess down. But he admitted that keeping that no-nonsense vibe cost him some major opportunities in the industry.
Number of producers coming to make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you or looking at you like you're a woman. When you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room.
Now, as you can imagine, social media went wild after Terrence's interview blew up, mainly because we haven't heard any other major Hollywood actor openly say Diddy tried to smash. But see, Terrence isn't the first public figure speaking out on this. Years before others caught on, Katt Williams tried to warn us about Diddy, but no one was listening. Katt even told Fat Joe that Diddy once tried to take him out to dinner, and Katt had to tell him no.
I owe you a dinner, man. I owe you. I obviously can't afford to get anything else.
Like I told Puffy, I don't let men take me out, sir. I'm good. I'll do no dinner.
And then last year, during his viral interview on Club Shay Shay, Katt took things even further, claiming he had to turn down Diddy's advances multiple times.
Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. I did. See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you. That's why I can say them so freely.
So now that Terrence Howard has come forward, revealing he had a similar experience with Diddy and had to say no, Katt is showing major support for him. In fact, there were even rumors floating around that Katt and Terrence might start a podcast where they will spill all the tea about their industry experiences. Now, nothing's set in stone yet, but fans are already losing it because if these two get on the mic together, who knows what kind of messy industry secrets they will drop. One fan on X said, "Will someone please put Terrence Howard and Katt Williams together in a room? If they could manage a podcast together, it would instantly become the most interesting and outrageous media property ever created." And another person added, "Gotta love Terrence Howard and Katt Williams also. He's of the same mindset." And this person's got a point because Katt and Terrence have been on the same page when it comes to the entertainment industry and the agenda they believe is aimed at emasculating black men. By now, you've probably heard Katt reignite the conversation about the rumored agenda in Hollywood where black male actors are allegedly pressured into wearing dresses before they make it to A-list status. And now sources are saying Terrence Howard is one of the many actors who got blacklisted for refusing to wear the dress. Now, this whole idea of Hollywood pushing a more feminine image onto black men isn't new, and a lot of black comedians and actors have spoken out about it. Take Eddie Griffin, for instance. He was one of the first to throw shade at Hollywood for making black actors and comedians wear dresses on screen. Eddie spilled the tea on Hollywood's rumored dress-wearing agenda back in 1999 during his comedy Foolish, where he not only starred but also wrote the script. In Foolish, Eddie plays Miles Foolish Ways, an up-and-coming comedian trying to make it in Hollywood. Now, here's the wild part. There's this unforgettable scene where the studio execs are literally trying to convince Foolish to wear a dress for a role, saying all the A-listers have done it.
So what do you think? It's never been done before. 3 lovable drag queens driving cross-country, helping Middle America solve its problems.
Y'all want me to wear a dress?
Foolish, this isn't a throwaway role. You'll be carrying the emotional energy of the movie.
Man, it's not that I don't appreciate the offer, because I do, but it's a lot of money involved.
We're talking a major motion picture here, Foolish.
I don't know, man.
Harrison.
That's Harrison. So I guess that's me.
Yep. Yep, that's it. Yeah.
I ain't feeling that, man. Can I just say something that every actor probably want to say to a couple of gentlemen like yourselves?
Sure. Anything you want to say?
Yeah. Kiss my black.
Now fast forward to 2006 and Dave Chappelle spills the tea on Oprah's show, revealing a wild story where he was allegedly pushed to wear a dress for a movie role with Martin Lawrence. And the way he described it, it was straight out of Foolish.
No, I'm not doing that. I don't feel comfortable with that. That should have been in the discussion. What? You don't feel comfortable with it? I mean, it's a hilarious bit. All the greats have done it.
Now, when Kevin Hart was later asked about Dave's story, he just shrugged it off, saying that kind of thing never happened to him.
Definitely haven't ran into to put on a dress. I mean, you have to have boundaries. You have to have limits that you refuse to cross.
But just a few years later, Kevin found himself in an SNL sketch wearing a dress. And that moment seemed to be a game changer for his career. Suddenly, his popularity and success skyrocketed. And some say it's all thanks to that dress moment on SNL. But the dress drama doesn't end there. Katt Williams jumped in, claiming the whole dress thing is tied to whether you decide to dance with the Illuminati or not.
So, some of us make choices. I think it's not a biggest choice for others. I'm saying at the end of the day, Kevin doesn't have to worry about what people are going to say about him wearing a dress because of the long line of dress-wearing people before him. So now we have Big Mama's house 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. I've never seen Medea in a pantsuit. I think she wears dresses. So now I'm saying, why are we picking on poor little Kevin Hart? Because it was his turn next. Okay. Some of us are against the Illuminati, and we are against the Illuminati at our own detriment. When people are against the Illuminati, then they get punched in the face all the time. The press hates them, and nobody likes them.
Now back then, most people wrote off Katt's claims as just some crazy conspiracy. But fast forward to today, and folks are starting to rethink his words, thinking there might be some truth to what he was saying, especially after Katt doubled down on the allegations last year during his Club Shay Shay interview. He even claimed that Martin Lawrence tried to get him into his first dress for Big Mama's house. But when Katt shut that down, Brandon T. Jackson swooped in and took the role.
He tell me, Katt, when I come back, I need you. You my young partner, you my brother in comedy. When I come back, just promise me that my next movie, it'll be me and you. We gonna do it together. We gonna do some buddy cops. I said, Martin, you got my mother word. Go do what you got to do. When you come back, I'm in your movie. Don't trip. I don't need to see the script or nothing. We get in that office and this fool pull out Big Mama's house too. I almost died. And I gotta read this script from all these good white people. Where this want me to get in a dress with him. And I'm literally saying to everybody, why is he in a dress again? You already played the old lady as an FBI agent. We can play anything now. We can be playing a dog catcher this time. Why do we need to be in a dress? And I get so mad, I say, you don't want me. You want Brandon T. Jackson. And that's who they went and got. Twice I said it, they went and got him. Just like I'm telling you, I had the other dude's work. I had all of it. All I did was say, I want to punch it up so it's not offensive.
Now, circling back to Terrence Howard, some new reports have surfaced suggesting that the whole dress situation was one of the main reasons he was blacklisted in Hollywood. When asked about the rumors that he was kicked off Iron Man 2 for anger issues and not being easy to work with, Terrence quickly shut that down and made it clear that he wasn't about to let Hollywood bosses dictate what a black man should look like on screen. According to Terrence, black actors are being pushed to adopt a more effeminate vibe if they want to make it to the top. He said, my daddy taught me never take the vertebrae out of your back or the base out of your throat. I ain't raising sheep. I raised men. Stay a man. Everything is androgynous, you know? The more successful men now are the effeminate. And then in another recent interview, Terrence went even harder, doubling down on his view that Hollywood has an issue with strong black men. And he also pointed out that only white men are allowed to be both powerful and non-threatening at the same time. The man has been dehumanized. Terrence said, with the new formula, most men are made to be effeminate and not have their power or sense of strength. They allow white men to be able to be strong, but when it's black men, it's seen as a threat. He also added, I don't want to remove a few chromosomes to fit in someone's story. So I feel they need to expand their stories to allow men to be men and simultaneously appreciate a woman's beauty. Now, as you can imagine, the internet is going wild over this whole drama. Some people are calling Terrence and Katt conspiracy theorists, arguing that these two need to change their subject because we've got bigger issues than actors wearing dresses. But on the flip side, there's a whole crowd of fans who are giving them major props for pulling back the curtain on Hollywood's shady side and are even hoping these two team up to spill even more behind-the-scenes tea